and welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how to use rice paper again for a different type of cake decoration. I like to use different mediums for my cake decorations and also use different type of decorations on the same cake. I think it makes it very fun and interesting. Again, we're going to use the same rice paper as the previous video to use puffs today. In the previous clip, we made rice paper flowers, and also rice paper sails. And today I want to do it in a different way that it makes it puffy, and that's another type of decoration. So for this video, we're gonna need rice paper, and I really prefer this type of rice paper. Some of them are murky in color, so when you use them, when you soak them or you cook them, they don't come out translucent, and they already come with this dull paint on them, and adding color makes it not very pretty. So use this one. It's Vietnamese rice paper, and there are plenty of them. I have this one box. I've been using it for a couple of months. It comes about 120 of those little tiny thin rice papers in them, and it goes a long way. It's about $3. You also need a pan like this. As you see, it's large, and it also has about 2 inches depth. So it helps for the oil not to spread out. Also, you need oil to fry the rice paper in it. You also need oil-based color because we're using oil, so gel-based will not dissolve. One thing I want to show you to emphasize is that when you get your color, you have to make sure that you read the label. So it either says gel-based or oil-based. If it's gel-based, it will not dissolve in oil. And if you want to get a uniform color in your oil, you have to make sure that you're using oil-based, and that's very important. So let's get everything together and go to the stove and start making our puffs. We have about 2.5 cups of vegetable oil with 1 teaspoon of black color added. I'm waiting for this to heat up and be ready to fry the rice papers. You can see that it's pretty dark and deep in shade. However, we don't expect rice papers to pick up much of a color. They are very porous and white. They just get a tint of the shade to it. So if you can add more color if you want, but don't expect anything in a deep color unless you want to spray paint it with edible paint, or you want to use edible powder paint and paintbrush it later to get a better color. At this point, we're just waiting for the oil to heat up. The way to test it is just to bring in a little bit of rice paper and see if it's ready to puff up. Not yet. Nope, not much of an action. So our oil seems to be ready. As a test, I'm gonna drop a small piece here, and you can see how it quickly boils up. And then you have to be pretty quick because you don't want it to burn and get brownish. So I'm gonna put a whole disc in there. You have to be very quick. It's actually really fun. And this is actually the same type of chips that you eat in authentic Asian restaurants. That's pretty delicious. That's exactly what it is. So I pick up a little bit of a color with it, and the reason is that that color dries on the chips and it gives it a shade, and that's what I'm looking for. So if you look over here, there's a little pools of oil sitting there. I'll just let it be for a few days. This is a little bit too much, so I'm just gonna dump that back a little bit. Right, that's it. And if part of these is not fried, don't worry about it. You can always cut it away, or you can just let it be. It's pretty. So I have all my decorations here. I want to show you a couple of things. First of all, this is how much decorations we made, and this is plenty for one cake, more than enough. I want to show you a couple of things. If you have this brown tint on the bottom, that means your oil is too hot. Then you have to lower the flame. If you have right amount of oil, perfect heat, then you get this, which is round, and it was the whole disc, by the way. Round and picks up the speckles, pretty uniform, very nice. But because the oil is being used, so at time the level of oil goes down, and then you get different shapes, which is nice. I think it's very nice to get those. So something like this has that brownish. I'm still gonna use it. It doesn't make that much of a difference. So you can see that I have a pool of oil here. Then I'm gonna turn it over and let the extra oil go away. And I'm gonna just let them sit for a few days. The other thing I wanna show you is this. So you can see I have one base and I have more inside it. And to achieve that, you need to drop 1 or 2 layers of rice paper together and just put a dab of water between them so they stick, and then drop it all together. If you want more folds, then drop 3 layers or 4 layers, and that gives you this shape. Very pretty. I'm very happy with the outcome. I'm gonna use them on the cake. They're pretty delicious too. So enjoy baking.